Welcome. Let's delve into the secrets of a peaceful and contented life. In a world where our words can either bring harmony or chaos, it is essential to recognize the power of silence and discretion. Sometimes, the things we choose not to share hold the greatest significance. Our words can unintentionally cause unrest within our families, and we often find ourselves regretting what we have revealed. Today, we invite you to embark on a journey inspired by a Buddhist story. Through this story, you will discover the 7 things you should never tell anyone. We will explore the reasoning behind each point, shedding light on the hidden principles of the world. Shush! Speak softly, no one should hear. This thing might have been heard by all of us, and must have come out of our mouth as well, but is a matter of thinking that sometimes this sentence comes out of our mouth and sometimes it falls in our ears. There are only a few secrets which we do not wish to be heard by others. Often, we ourselves become the cause of unrest in the family. We may not even realize it, but this is the real truth. We tell things that we should never reveal, and those are the things that, knowingly or unknowingly, we have told to someone else. Those are the things that were said in front of others become the cause of our sadness and arguments, and then later, we regret that I shouldn't have told this to anyone. It was my own mistake that I unintentionally told this matter to everyone. That's why today, I am going to share a Buddhist story with you. After listening to it, you will come to know about 7 things that you should never tell anyone. These 7 things, why shouldn't you tell them? I will also give you the reasoning behind it. Apart from these 7 points, if you think there is something that I missed or couldn't tell, please mention it in the comment section. Before delving into this enlightening story, make sure to subscribe to this channel. So, let's begin the story. Once upon a time, in a city, there lived a young man named Rinku. He was very poor and had hardly any money. He struggled to even have 2 meals a day. One day, he realized that he couldn't find any work despite his efforts. Frustrated, he shared all his problems with his wife. He told her that wherever he went to ask for help, no one was willing to assist him. Then, one day, he shared all his problems with his wife and told her that wherever he went to ask for help, no one gave him anything. They would say that there was no need for help in their place. He was tired of searching for help everywhere, and he couldn't understand how he would feed his family and take care of his children. This worry consumed him day and night. Hearing this, his wife thought for a moment and said, "You only go to a person once to ask for help, and if they don't give you anything, you don't go to them the second time. If you have to take something from them, you have to show them empathy. You have to show them that you are also in pain. You have to reveal your poverty, and through this method, you can obtain work." Upon hearing these words, Rinku's mind pondered. The next day, he went to the same person he had visited the previous day to ask for help. However, this time he joined his hands and prayed to the wealthy person, humbly requesting him. He told the person that he was extremely poor and desperately in need of help. Whatever they would give him, he would be content with, but kindly keep him employed and provide him with work. Upon seeing his condition, the wealthy person took him under his wing and employed him in his service. Rinku started going there every day to work. Although he received some wages, his salary was lower compared to what other people were earning. When he discussed this with his employer, the wealthy person said, "Look, my friend, you needed help, and I provided you with employment. Instead of expressing gratitude, you complain about receiving less. Consider your situation, how healthy it is." Upon hearing these words, Rinku fell silent. Somewhere deep down, he knew that what the wealthy person said was true. However, slowly and gradually, he started sharing this information with his relatives and friends, telling them about the kind of person the wealthy man was and how much salary he paid. Time went by, and Rinku diligently continued his work. But the circumstances began to change. The wealthy person started making Rinku do more work, but compared to others he paid him a lower salary. This deeply hurt Rinku's self-esteem. He was working harder than others but receiving less compensation. This fact troubled Rinku's mind greatly. He was putting in more effort than others but receiving a lower salary. His self-respect was deeply wounded. Gradually, his motivation to work diminished. His work no longer seemed worthwhile. It was obvious that in such a situation, where a person has to compromise on their self-respect, one's motivation fades away. His work no longer felt fulfilling to him. It was apparent that his work had no value. Where would a person's work hold any significance if they have to compromise on their self-respect? Therefore, he made the decision to leave his job. He returned home and sat empty-handed, with no money left to sustain his household expenses. Consequently, he began seeking help from his relatives and friends. However, his friends saw him as a recipient of sympathy and reassured him with empty promises. But behind his back, they made fun of him, calling him a fool for allowing the wealthy man to exploit him and not even giving him any money in return. They said, if we give him money, how he will return our money tomorrow? He is in such a dire situation that he doesn't even have anything when he's earning so little. Where will he bring the money from? Due to this situation, Rinku's condition deteriorated day by day. His days were filled with distress and tension. The same friends and relatives who pretended to care for him were not willing to provide any assistance. They would offer him knowledge and advice, but they wouldn't extend any real help. This is often the case, where people are willing to impart knowledge but hesitate to provide practical assistance. Rinku felt trapped and surrounded by people who pretended to be his own but considered him a burden. They saw him as someone deserving of sympathy but lacked the willingness to offer tangible support. Everyone approached him with knowledge but refused to lend a helping hand. This realization caused Rinku's situation to worsen, leading him to live in a constant state of anxiety. People were quick to bestow knowledge upon him, but no one was willing to offer assistance. This is often the reality, where people readily give knowledge but shy away from extending a helping hand. Rinku realized that there are many people who offer advice, but when it comes to helping, very few steps forward to support and guide him. It's easy to find those who give knowledge, but finding those who actively contribute is a rarity. He learned that in the neighboring village, there was a wise monk who possessed great knowledge. Rinku was so overwhelmed with stress that he couldn't see any way out. Thus, unintentionally, he found himself in the presence of the knowledgeable monk. Arriving at the monk's place, he fell at his feet, crying uncontrollably. Through his tears, he narrated his entire situation to the monk, explaining how his employer had taken advantage of him and how his relatives and friends treated him. The monk listens to Rinku's story, and in response, he reveals how the employer had exploited him and explains the behavior of his relatives and friends. The monk informs him about the circumstances surrounding his relationships with his employer and acquaintances. After hearing everything, the monk, while remaining silent, tells Rinku that all these problems have arisen due to his lack of intelligence and foolishness. He states that if Rinku had wisdom within him, none of these issues would have affected him. Due to your foolishness, you have laid thorns in your own path. Today, I am telling you things to remember, which should not be shared with anyone else. By following these instructions, you can overcome the sorrows that come to you from the world for no reason. The first thing that should never be revealed to anyone is your own helplessness. Never make the mistake of pretending to be helpless and seeking others' assistance by becoming a recipient of their sympathy. It may be possible that someone helps you today, seeing your helplessness, but tomorrow they may take additional benefits from you. And if they don't take any benefits from you, they will never stop mocking you in front of others. Therefore, never show your helplessness, and there are only two essential things at home. It is happiness and a satisfied stomach. So, go to sleep after having those. However, you should not let others even suspect your helplessness. Just think for a moment, what purpose does it serve to disclose your helplessness? There are two possible intentions behind a person revealing their helplessness. Either they seek empathy from others or they want some financial assistance from them. But if you look at both situations, the other person will not miss a chance to exploit you. And even if they don't exploit you, in their eyes, they will consider you foolish, and for sure they will make fun of you in front of others. That's why you should never disclose your helplessness to anyone. Another thing that should not be revealed to anyone is your past mistakes and future strategies. Just think, if we tell someone about our past mistakes, what impact will it have? Those mistakes cannot be corrected by sharing them. Just imagine what purpose it serves to reveal your dark side to the world. This will diminish your character in their eyes, and they will always perceive you from that perspective. Therefore, do not let your character be compromised in anyone's eyes. and think about whether you are unnecessarily revealing your future strategies to others. Those who are not even a part of your work will have insight into your future plans. What benefit will they gain? They may not even help you, but they could certainly be a hurdle in your future strategies. Use your own judgment and think about whether you have ever shared your future strategy with someone and it did not succeed. Reflect on it carefully. Thirdly, there are matters of our home that should not be disclosed to anyone. Whatever conversation we have at our home with our parents, our spouses, and our children, discussions should be kept restricted. If you publicly discuss these matters, it provides an opportunity for others to intrude into your home. They will take advantage of it and try to distance your family members from you. Often, we see in society that in order to reduce conflicts within our homes, we share those disputes with our neighbors and other relatives. However, this never brings any assistance to you but instead exacerbates the fights and conflicts within your home. It is evident that they will escalate if you disclose your parents' matters to others without their consent. By sharing these matters with others, you are not only disrespecting your parents but also revealing your family's conflicts and fights in front of others. Therefore, do not disclose the matters of your home and the disputes within your home to anyone. The next thing I am about to tell you should not be disclosed to anyone. It may sound strange to hear, but I will present its truth through an argument. I suggest that you should not disclose your income to anyone. Do not reveal your income to anyone. Think about the possible reasons behind not disclosing your income. Consider that if you disclose your income to your friends, they will only remember you when they are in need. Because they know that if your income is better, only you can help them. That's why people will seek assistance from you, and when you don't help them, they will think that this person has money but is not willing to help. They can offer their help but they are not offering it, and that's why your income becomes the cause of a dispute between both friends. If your income is low, people will make fun of you, and if it's high, they will ask for assistance. So there is no purpose in disclosing your income. The next thing I am about to tell you, keep it to yourself. Do not disclose your weaknesses and strengths to anyone. Often, people are unaware of their own weaknesses and strengths. What is your weakness or strength? If you are aware of your weakness and strength, then firstly, you are very wise. And secondly, you shouldn't use these things against anyone because if others find out about your weakness, they will take advantage of it. And if they find out about your strength, it might become your weakness. You shouldn't even tell your wife or husband about your weakness and strength because, after that, you may be exploited by them at home. If others come to know about your weakness, they will exploit it, and if they find out about your strength, they will try to diminish it by finding ways to cut it down. The next thing that no one should reveal is about their friends and enemies. If you reveal information about your friends to others, they may manipulate and betray you by forming a close bond with your friends. They can try to distance you from your close friends. Ordinary people often don't do such things. But your enemies can try to do that, and on the other hand, no one should come to know about your enemy either because today, someone who is your friend may become your enemy tomorrow, and then they may collaborate with your enemy against you. They can harm you and betray you. That's why you should also not reveal anything about your enemies to your closest friends because your closest friends can also become vulnerable to your enemies. They can be manipulated and deceived. So, it is important not to disclose information about your enemies even to your best friends. Lastly, I want to say that when you donate, don't disclose it to anyone either. Otherwise, your donation becomes futile and worthless. When you announce your donation, you are showcasing how generous you are, and it creates arrogance within you. That's why donations should be done secretly. It is better and more fruitful. When you announce your donation, it loses its value and purpose. When you beat your own drum about your donation, you are only creating a sense of pride within yourself. Therefore, donations should be kept confidential. It is more beneficial and rewarding. It builds a sense of humility and brings positive outcomes. When your actions speak for themselves, there is no need to boast about your generosity. Hence, donations should be done discreetly. It is more effective and brings greater rewards when your actions speak louder than words. If you are donating with your right hand, even your left hand should not know that your right hand is donating. These are the 7 principles taught by Buddhist monks. They contain hidden principles of the world. By following these principles, you can create happiness and peace in your home and permanently resolve conflicts within your household. Reflecting on these principles with your wisdom, you can also think about these principles and understand their true meaning. The purpose of sharing this story is to awaken your consciousness. I encourage you to reflect on these principles independently. If you believe we have made any errors, we welcome your feedback in the comment section. Additionally, if you have additional insights beyond what we have discussed, please feel free to share them in the comment section as well. Thank you for watching the video. Did you enjoy the story? Let us know in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We'll meet in the next story. Take care.